Hello everyone, this is going to be a guide for the exterior of the RV. First of all, you would open the storage here, simple as turning these little knobs, and you would push it all the way up until you hear a clicking sound. The first thing you're going to want to do is set up your water. We have a hose right here, and we have a filter right here. Water filter, the first thing that you want to do is you want to put this side into the water faucet, screw it in, and you want to take this black end of the hose and screw this in here until it's nice and tight. You will let the water run for a minute or two to make sure that it's all nice and filtered, and then you would take the other end and you would connect it to the cedar water connection, and the same method that you did with the hose. And there now, you have constant water coming to you, just like you would at home. And if you're ever about to go on the road and you need a full tank of water here, you would open up this potable water section here with the same filtered water hose, and you would simply put it in like that, no screwing necessary, and wait until it starts to overflow. That means that the water tank is full. Simply screw this back on, and you're done. Next we have the power outlet. If you want quick access to the power outlet, you would simply lift this and take out the power plug. This goes a very, 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 very long way before needing any sort of extension. This is a 3-prong power outlet. In case you need another power outlet, we have a converter as well. If you come over, converter can be found in the same storage shed. You would have this blue connector. The 3 prongs would go on this end, and this is the 4-pronged outlet in case you go to a national park or any sort of other place that has 4 prongs. Connecting the power is as easy as plugging it into the actual outlet, and then you should have power throughout the entire RV. For putting back the power cable, you could simply just push it all the way back in until you have nothing left outside. And you have the nice little head, you put it here, you close it, you're done. However, if it does not want to go back in, if it's stuck for some reason, you would take the master key, which is this little gray one, put it in gently, turn it to the left, and then you have it open. If it does not want to go in with the normal way, you could simply do this, push it all the way through, and then start to push it in so it makes a ring shape like you see with the rest of the cable before you. You do this until the entire cable is nice and secure and you have it all the way back in. Next, we're going to talk about the sewage. First of all, you would open up the storage bin again, put it up until you hear a click. Next, you would take out this box right here and take this assortment of black plastic right here, in case this is needed as well. And of course, the gloves. You come over this side. All these down here. After you put some gloves on, you would come over here to this part of the car, take out this piece, and inside you'll find the tubing for the sewage. Take it all the way out. You come over here. This bin right here is the wastewater holding tank. You open it, click it into place as with any other piece here. This is your sewage. To open it up, you would simply unlock this way, let it fall down. To connect the sewage pipe to it, you would take this end with the hooks, put it onto here, and make sure it hooks into the knobs all the way. Make sure it is secure. Next thing you want to do is take this bucket right here, open it up, inside, you find this. This is the connector, the head, that will work for most sizes, if not all sizes, of this. You would simply connect it into here. Make sure it clicks, make sure it's secure, and you would put it in to whatever size it works. This is good for up to 3 different sizes of pipes. This will be good for almost any RV place. Then you would come over here. If you want to use these black plastic pieces to support it, that would be a good idea. Simply spread them out. Put it on top here. This way the pipe is nice and supported as you start to drain. If you come over here, I will show you how to drain out the pipe. Okay. First you have to get familiar with the terms. This is your black tank. This is your gray tank. This is your black water, this is your gray water. First you have the black tank. To open it, you would pull on this lever, wait until all of the waste goes, until you stop hearing the sound of movement. And then while this tank is open, you will open the gray water. This is sewage, this is general wastewater. You would open this water, wait for a few seconds for both to be open, and then you would close this and then let the gray water drain. This is so the gray water can flush out some of the pipe from the black water. Once this is all nice and empty, we're going to go on to the next step after you close this off. Whenever you're done draining out your tanks, how you want to clean out this specific pipe is you take this piece, which is found right next to the same clear connector piece. This piece, you put it in with the hose. Currently it's in a locked phase. And you would keep this down until you connect it with the pipe. You would come over here to your pipe. This is down. Once you have drained this all out and make sure that both of these are closed, you would unlock this, close the tab again, make sure this is secured all the way, hooks all the way into the knobs, and then you will take this piece. It is the exact same shape as the pipe down there. Make sure the hooks go into the knobs. And then you would turn on the water faucet, and because this is locked, you have to push it upward to make sure the water can go through. The water will go through, it'll flush out the entire pipe. Then once you're done, you turn off the water, you lock this, you would unlock this from the mouth, come over here, the pipe down here, lift it up, take it out, same thing. If you want to rinse this out with some extra water as well, that would be good. And then take the pipe, which is now fully rinsed out, and you would put it back in here. Okay, so it's all the way in. Put the cap back on, and you're ready for travel. You can pick this up quite easily. You would use this piece to lock it with. Just follow the shape. This is the box for this connector piece. You would put this back in there. Make sure to lock it. This is your hose with this connector piece. Simply unscrew it. Take all these pieces, including the hose, considering you're packing up, This is back in here. It's back here. And this back in here. This back in here. These are the parking brakes for your car. Whenever you fully park the RV, you would take one of each. There's 4 of them. You would place the first one behind the tires. You place the second set in front of the tires. You do the same thing on the other side. And now we have the propane tank. You will not be needing to touch this at all. However, in case something inside is not working, you would come over here and look to see if the reason is the propane. If the gauge is all the way to the right, it is full. If the gauge is all the way to the left, then it is empty. Okay, on our final section for the outside, under this cart here, we have a storage bin. You would unlock these red sliders to take off this. And inside, you will find some jumper cables in the event of an emergency, and some triangles in case something ever happens on the road. Fold them out. Make sure to lock them into place. And you'll place them behind your vehicle to make sure to let other cars know that you're stopping. Here you have the outside door. There are 2 parts to it. There's this mosquito screen which you unlock by pushing this button down, closing this cover and pushing it in, and then you have a mosquito screen door. You would open it by pressing this lever down, closing this again, and pushing it into this little knob right here. As for the locking mechanism for the outside door, you have 2 parts right here which can be locked from the inside, but whenever you're leaving for the outside, you would close the door. You would take the smaller key. This closes this main panel. Now that's locked. And you would take the larger key. That would close this panel. Now you have a double lock system. When you walk in, you'll see a set of panels here. All these 3 are for various outside lights. This is for the step light right here. And this is most importantly for the battery. This should always be on use for as long as you're on your trip. This is for the awning. This will push the awning out, and this will push the awning back in. Step light, various outside lights, with this also being an indoor light. And this is a light for the inside lights here. On, off. Okay, done. Okay. Over here you have some extra surface area in case you need it. To take it out, you would just pull it all the way up, and it should lock. It can hold a good bit of weight. And when you want to take it back down again, you would push this up and push this in and this in, and it'll fold back inside. Control panel for the various things on the RV. Over here, you have the water. Whenever you have a direct water connection, it does not matter if this is on or off, you will have water anyway. However, if you are on the road and you wish to access your water, this has to be turned on. Over here, we have the water heater. Whenever you have a direct electric connection to your RV, it is recommended that you have both of these on. Whenever you are on the road or you don't have a direct connection to your RV, you would only have the gas water heater on. Over up here, you have the buttons to let you know what the tanks and the battery levels are. Over here, you have the gas level. Right now it is full. Over here, you have the battery level. Right now it is 2/3 full. Right now you have the fresh water tank, that is 2/3 full. The black water tank, which is the wastewater tank, 1/3 full. And the gray water tank, which is currently empty. Over here you have the generator button. This is used whenever you want to access your AC or your microwave or anything else that would use the direct connection when you don't have a direct electric connection. To start it, you would hold down on stop until you see the light come on. You would wait a few seconds, 3 to 5 seconds, and then you would press the start button and let go. Now, nothing is going to start working with the generator until you hear a microwave ding. This is typically 30 to 40 seconds. Sometimes it may need another redo, but in this case, it will not. This is how you know it's working. Over here, you have the restroom. In order to use this toilet, you push it up like this. In order to keep the cleanest area possible, you would want to push down this lever a little bit to fill it up with a little bit of water to make things easier whenever everything's going down. And when you're done and ready to flush, you would push this down hard and everything goes into the waste tank. Over here, you have the shower. Pretty standard buttons over here for hot and cold. Now this is the shower cover. You would close it by sliding this all the way to the end. But opening it isn't as easy as sliding it because this is going to be locked. If you're on the inside, you would pull towards you. If you're on the outside, you would push inward. Just in case you ever get stuck and don't know how to get out. You would pull it towards you on the inside and it will slide open. And this is the dryer. This dryer can be connected to here, but it will only work when you have a direct connection to power. Yeah. Over here, you have a fan. Whenever you want to open it, you would unscrew this and turn on the fan to get some fresh air through. Whenever you're done with it, you would turn it off. And before you leave to drive, make sure this is closed. Otherwise, it might fly off. Okay. This is your coolant system. There's only one thing that you should know about this, and that is to never put it on low heat. Because there is no thermostat, whenever a temperature gets too cold or too hot, it will automatically adjust the fan being on or off. The settings are high cool, high fan, low heat, and off. The only thing you should never have it on is low heat because this is not a heating system. Over here, you can set how cold you want the air to be and subsequently when it's going to decide to turn off. Over here, you have decisions on whether you want these side fans open or you want them closed. Over here you have your seating system. To make it, you can easily make this into a bed through a few very simple steps. First, you take this table and you lift it out of its tube. Sometimes this will be much harder to do than other times. You will take out this central tube here, put it off to the side, and then you will take this and slide it onto these rafters right here. Once you do slide it onto those rafters, all the way, provides a nice sturdy base for you to take off these cushions, put them in the middle, to produce a nice and comfy bed. As for this metal piece, it is easiest to just put it under there whenever you're sleeping. Now to fix this again, you would just take these cushions, push them back to where they were, take your metal rod, make sure you have that on hand, slide this back out, then place the metal rod, doesn't really matter which way is which, back into the center, and then you would put this back on the metal rod. It's quite easy to pop in once you find the place. Now over here, this also works as a seating arrangement for when you're driving. Over here, you have a seat belt. You can simply lock it into place and you won't get thrown around during tight curves. Open it with the red button, like this, and it also applies to that side as well. Over here you have a nice view of the outside, and if you wish to open it, simply slide this. You have a screen protecting you as well from any bugs. Close this, and over here you have some blinders. Whenever you want some privacy, you can simply push this down all the way. It will stay down by itself, and whenever you want it back open, simply push it up. Now when you get to the refrigerator over here, there's one very simple rule that you have to follow. Always keep it on auto. No matter where you are, no matter what your power source is, auto will automatically go to the best power source. That's it. Here we have the cooking area. Up here you have a microwave. Push button to open, close it, set time, standard. Over here, you have the vent and the light. This button turns on the light, this button turns on the vent. Under here, you have a gas stove. To open it during travel, you would push, or during not travel, you would push this open, and push this up here, and that will stay by itself. To turn this on, you would first pick a burner, turn it on to the level you want, and press the spark button. This will engage that. Now, in case you don't, in case for some reason the spark isn't working, you would come down here. Here is a lighter. You would turn it on and put the lighter here, and it turns on. Same thing. Make sure to turn it off before you go, and whenever you're done. Make sure to also close this during travel, otherwise you're going to get a very loud surprise. Now, as for the oven here, the oven button is over here. To work the oven, you would come to this button, you would open this and push this onto pilot. Now, whenever you are ready with your burner, you will push down onto pilot, take your burner here, and go to the very back over here next to a metallic area here. Then you would light it. Whenever you see that fire right there, you would keep holding the pilot button. Do not let go of the pilot button for about 30 seconds or so. After which those 30 seconds, whenever you think you are ready to let go of the button, if you let go and the fire is still going by itself, then the oven is ready to be used. If not, then you're going to have to repeat the process again. See, I let go of the pilot button. Now the fire is still going by itself. Now you can turn up the oven to a certain degree and it will light up the rest of the way. Turn it off, you'd simply go to the off button, and now the flame is out completely. Over here you have another bed as well. This can seat and bed up to 2 people. To get up to it easily, you have a little ladder right here. Make sure it is hooked in to the cushion, and you can simply climb your way up into the bed. Now, for entertainment, you have a TV right here. To slide it out, you simply pull on it, and it will slide out for easy viewing from the bed and from the seating area. You have 2 remotes right here. You have one remote for the Roku TV, and you have another wider remote. This is for the radio. You can adjust the radio using this. This is a privacy screen. You might remember seeing it when we talked about the bed above the door. This can also be placed behind the seat in case you can't find it. You would wrap it around that side of the car, hold it over here, make sure the string is down here. This hook right here goes into the door frame itself. Make sure it's nice and snug, and down here is a magnet. That would go like that. You would close it, and make sure this is closed as well. Now this provides you total privacy from the outside.